Everyone, thanks for joining me on the Ride of My Life podcast. It's been a week. It's been a healing week. That's what I'm calling my healing journey. There's so much more to this than just, uh, there's a lot of processing. There's a lot of uh, awakening. There's a lot of connecting to self. There's a lot of, the big word for me, emptiness, void, and I'll get into that in a moment. But it's interesting that I'm trying to feel my way through this on what to share and when to share it. But what's happening is my process to heal and connect with my soul, my higher self, is of utmost importance. It's like the highest thing that I'm doing right now. And it feels weird for me because I grew up being out there, connecting with people, all that stuff. But this is kind of bringing me inside, which is bringing me into what I'm calling a void or an emptiness, which is not like feeling loss emptiness. It's more of just being there emptiness, waiting, watching, releasing, letting go type of thing, surrendering. Not a lot of people understand this because it's not like normal way of society living. It is out there. It's been out there for eons, but our society doesn't really look at this type of thing. And it's interesting because I've read for years how people do their healing work and they get to this place of the void, and then just something, it's empty, there's nothing there. It's like you're releasing everything of who you are and how you were raised and all these different things from your past that we've connected to or attached ourselves to. And in doing the work, it opens this space, and the space is in preparation for what's coming, but we don't know what's coming. And it's really not easy. It's quite a challenge to do this. And I never thought that it would be like this, even though I kind of knew that it would. But there's pieces in there that are so beautiful and so peaceful, for lack of better, word. Where I'm just connecting to the truth of me, who I am, who I was brought onto this planet to be, or to just be. It doesn't have to include all of the chaos. It doesn't have to include all of the that we see in the world. It doesn't have to include all of the fear and the shame and the anger and the hatred and all that stuff. It doesn't include any of that. And it's really weird because all of that stuff was all mixed up and jumbled up inside of me for years, and I've been, doing different types of things to help to release all that. And coming into this space, I know that not everyone is going to agree with me, and that's okay, because it's not your experience to agree with. Because you have your own experience in this world. We're all different in that respect. The challenge is that separates us because of how we do different, how we, heal different, how we, all those things, but we're not really separate. That's the key, and I'm learning this. It's like there's this piece of us that is connected to to other people, to animals, to the earth, especially to the earth. And one of the things I'm learning right now is I've been doing so much work and connecting myself with, my higher self and all that, that I started to neglect to ground myself. And plus the fact that I'm a thinker, analytical, I like to find answers, I like to get information. There's been a disconnect. So part of what we do can't just be floating around in the ethers. It also has to, because we're human, spirit in a human body that's on this earth. We need to connect with the earth, and we're so disconnected from the earth. we can't see what we're doing to the earth. And the earth is the only home we have. No matter what people are looking on different planets, we wouldn't need to look on different planets for an alternative or whatever's going on with that. I don't know. I can't speak on that. But if we can just take care of the earth that we live on and be kind to the earth and ourselves and each other, there would be such a different environment, such a different paradigm happening. And there's people out there I see who are doing things like that. And then there's so many different, I don't know, I can't, it's hard for me to relate to that, because I am learning how to just kind of stay in my lane and kind of focus on my, at this point, on this experiment that I'm doing, which is this, where I'm at right now with this void or emptiness. And it's not a bad thing. It's very freeing. And having lived my life in the way that I've lived it, it's also a little scary because I don't know what's coming next. And it's just, it's powerful, and it's not for the faint of heart. That's what I mean, that's the biggest thing. You have to, like for me, every day I'm building resiliency to different things, because stuff's going to come up in life regardless. We can't totally avoid that. But someone said to me one time, be the boulder in the center of a raging river. And that stuck with me. And that's what this feels like. I feel like that boulder, or beginning to feel like that boulder. There's still little bits and pieces that are still throwing me off because of this human body. And then my higher self gets in there and she's like, it's all right, we've got this, we're moving along, whatever. And there's so much to this letting go and deep diving and all of this, and just connecting with the truth. And so anyway, this is my poem talks. And this particular poem I wrote on August 20th of 2021 in the process of, my journey last year. And I was just beginning to start to understand why we need the darkness and the light, and what this encompasses. And basically, it's we may have darkness. We do have darkness. All of us have a darkness, but it's not a bad thing. Look at it like the universe. There's black, and then there's light. So it just is. It isn't bad that it's black. At night when the skies are dark, that's not a bad thing. It just is that way. But we always have some form of light, within the stars or whatever. And within ourselves, we're made up of the cosmos. We're made up of the earth minerals and materials and stuff like that, and water. And so there's the connection right there in itself. Our cells they're like miniature universes, and it's being able to recognize that and see how expansive and big that is, and the energies that we work with. Energies really, I forget what her name is, but she's like, energy, that's all there is. Well, that is all there is. It doesn't, as a solid human body, it's hard to see that or tell that, especially going through everything in the world that we're going through, because it's so thick and it's so solid. And that's not what it is. There's still a vibration in the body. If you are able to just take time away, if you meditate, if you just sit with yourself, if you just be in the moment, you can start to feel certain things in the body. But we've been trained to be so afraid of all these, feelings in the body that we turn away. We disconnect from our body. Nothing against any helping modalities or, I've been through therapy, I've been through counseling, psychiatry, psychiatrists, I've seen them, coaching, all these different things, body work, everything. But I'm noticing that we think too much. I think too much. I disconnect from my body, and my body is my vehicle. My body is my guide in this life to tell me what direction to go in. The mind is a passenger. The mind is just something that we have that helps to understand things, I guess. It's like we're not here to think our way through life. We're here to feel our way through life within the body. And the disconnect has come because we've been told, disregard your feelings, don't cry, these things like that. Or if something happens to our bodies, or if a sickness happens to our bodies, we depend on something outside of us to tell us how to heal that, where we actually have the capacity to heal ourselves. Just a simple little thing, like if you get a paper cut, have you ever noticed that your body knows exactly what to do to heal it? Well, your body knows what to do to heal everything. And we're not told that. We're not taught that. And it's hard for us to connect with that because we are so disconnected from protecting our hearts, from protecting ourselves. We don't want connection with anything. And I've lived this life to the point where I isolated because I didn't want to get hurt. And so now it's time. Things are happening. I feel it. I don't know what it is. I'm coming into it. I know that shifts are happening as we speak. Even the things that look like they're, these horrible events and things like that in the world, they give us opportunities to take a look at ourselves, to heal our hearts, and to relearn compassion. We're so glued into this male-dominated society where there's competition and fighting and all these different things. It's actually a wounded version of it, because we all have, and I've talked about this over and over again, I just want to reemphasize this, that we all have this divine part of us inside of us that some of us don't even know about. I'm just opening up to it, and it's not our fault. None of this is our fault. It's part of how we were conditioned in our societies, in the world, over millennium, whatever. And we have this information in our DNA. We have, if you believe in past lives, we carry this stuff into this lifetime of this lifetime. But all these things we never learn how to recreate or release or shift these things because there's that word. Whatever they is, I mean, it may not even be present moment they, it could be any they. It could be a they from the 1400s, it could be a they from, AD time frame, before Christ or whatever. It doesn't matter because it all stays within our DNAs. That's where we're connected to. And we have these things that just show up that don't make sense in our lives, feelings that come out, and we're trying to understand it. And it could be something from anything. That's how mysterious this is. So the light for us is mysterious, but we want it so badly, I feel. We want that light, and at the same time we're afraid of the darkness. There's the boogeyman's in the darkness, and demons are in the darkness, and we don't want to do that. But it's not about being in the darkness, it's shining light into the darkness. So there's a healing that can occur. And so, again, back to 2021, when I wrote this poem, I called it Time to See the Light. Because instead of staying in that darkness and feeling stuck in that darkness, here is an opportunity to work ourselves through and break through these feelings that some of us really don't even understand. I didn't understand them for a while. I connected them with something I did wrong. I connected them with who I am, which is not true. That's not the truth. I connected it with like, I'm a bad girl, or I don't deserve, or I owe my mother for my life. You know, I mean, that was a big deal for me because she literally used to say stuff like that, where she'd be like, well, why haven't you done blah, blah, blah? After all, I bore you. And I'm like, I sucked all of that in. I didn't contribute to that birth other than showing up. You know, so how is it my fault? How is it that I'm blaming myself? And then here's the kicker. So I judge myself for all these things that I was told, and then we all seem to do this. We judge ourselves so fiercely and stop loving who we really are, that beautiful soul that we are, that we start judging everything and everybody and all of that. And we're holding on to this judgment because somehow we also believe, you know, through generations of teachings that God judges us. And God is love. Love is not judgment. They don't go together. They don't fit in the same basket. And so if God is love, how can God judge? And if there was another thing that I found out, the word sin means missing the mark. It has nothing to do with being a bad person, but we've been taught how to raise our children there, where you're doing bad things and you're a bad human, you know, whatever, you're a bad person and you're a bad little girl, you're a bad little boy. And that's not true, but we take that in as children because we don't know how to fend for ourselves if we're never taught about feelings and learn how to create a safe space around us with the safety of the people who are raising us. And if they're raising us to believe in these fearful things, like I remember I had a friend of mine who was like deathly afraid, a guy who was deathly afraid of snakes because he was raised Catholic. And I don't know a whole lot about this, but I remember seeing a statue with the Virgin Mary and there's a snake, you know, crawling at the bottom of her feet. And we saw this thing in a store and he like, duh, you know, that's not real. It's not. The snake is not a bad thing. The snake is about transformation, transitioning, transmuting. It's not about fear. But that's what we've been taught in certain circumstances. So it's just a little bit about unlearning. And again, I know that there are people out there, and it's okay, who won't agree with what I'm saying. These are just my experiences, my understandings. And if you don't agree, take what works for you and let go of the rest of it. I'm perfectly good with all of that. So, but anyway, so I keep diverting. Okay, so the light is who we are. It's not something we look for. We become the light, and it overtakes the darkness, and and light is a higher vibrational energy than darkness, just like love is a higher vibrational than fear. So here's the poem I wrote, and hopefully you'll get something out of this that helps. I am not helpless. I am strong. Yet people saw me as helpless for so long. I set myself up for that. Yes, I did. When emotional needs were not met as a child, and so I hid. The only way I survived was to be sad and wait for someone to help me. And I wasn't bad. I just wanted to be nurtured, feel loved, that I mattered, that when it didn't happen, my little heart was shattered. Little children are smart as they learn to protect themselves from the pain of the adult world that is not their realm. The realm of a child is open and free, the way we as adults just want to be. The challenge with this is the lies we were told about who we are, who we should be, in order to be controlled. It built inside for years and years. The laughter subsided and up came the tears. Yet we didn't know why this happened to us. Now our inner child is suffering and running amok. That child inside is in deep pain because they didn't know how to maintain. As children only see what is going on. They don't understand their feelings. They hide to be strong. They think they must be that way to protect their parent because they blame themselves for being bad, not to be society's aberrant. They don't know what to do, and so when they grow into an adult that does not know as a human just how to cope, we just want to be ourselves, that much is true. And as the years go by, we find we are through with everything going on that we think we have no control, that we walk away from our own very soul. We don't know this is happening until things get much worse, when we are older and we are immersed in a landslide of feelings we know not what to do. We become addicted to name your poison and don't know what to pursue. For the truth of ourselves hidden deep down inside is that we are love, but learn to hide. From the deepest of places that beauty does reign, we lose ourselves in society again and again. We all go through this. It doesn't matter who you are. We all have pain inside, and so we hurt others afar. Some have compassion for the others we hurt. Hurt people, and some even assert that their hatred for others is not their fault. To be honest, it isn't. They were just on default. The other, my loves, has nothing to do with you. The hate you feel inside for them is all that you knew. I don't know any way to change these things but to learn to love myself and to connect with divinity and not leave them on the shelf. The love is inside you, and you are the answer to what you've been asking for to change your master. From ego mind, which protects and runs your life, to the truth of you that's deep inside, it's time to see the light. Ooh, that's interesting. Wow. Just wait a second. I want to sit with that, because this is what's happening with me now. It's time. The light is there. The light is coming through. I know not where, and I know not what to do. Yeah, okay. I will rhyme myself. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. Anyway, but so important. You are so important to you and the rest of the world and the universe and divinity and everything. I just want you to know that it's available to you, because it's not something, it's your right. That's why you were born into this world. I want you to know that, somehow feel that. It's so important for us to take that opportunity to do that deep healing work, to find that real truth inside of ourselves and connect with ourselves. We are the most important people, as far as that goes, on this planet, to ourselves. If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't be there for anyone else. We need, my feeling, my experience, we need to at this time in the world, feel that light within ourselves and bring it up with the love, and just like cover everything with that light and that peace and the love and the all of it. It's doable. God, if you, I say this all the time, if you knew me in the past, whether you had an affinity to me or not, that's irrelevant. If you knew me, you knew a part of me that was so disconnected and so lost and so like fearful about everything. I really literally I hated myself. I couldn't connect. It was crazy, but I knew that I needed to break free from that. That's what this is about. The breaking free into the light, into ourselves, and finding that person that we are in this body as a spirit, and being that light in the world from that space is, no matter what we do, what we're doing in the world to help other people or animals or, it doesn't matter. But coming from that space is that's our purpose. Divinity, that's our purpose. Divine love, connecting with the earth, the Divine Mother, whatever that is. Find yours. If you need guidance, I'm here. If you resonate with what I'm saying, I'm here to guide you. If that isn't something you want to do, that's okay too. So, anyway, so thank you for being here this week on the Ride of My Life podcast, my poem talks, and just know that you have that spark of light inside of you. That's just what I want you to know. And I know what this feels like now, so I know it's possible, and I just want to be able to create that space and hold that space for you so you can find that possibility as well. So, yeah, I have plenty of links for donations for the Ride of My Life as I'm traveling. I kind of, especially with not begging, I'm not good at this part, I say that, but if you're so inclined to gift, love offering or whatever, so I can keep this going, because it does take time to put these videos together, and this is going to sound odd, I am doing this for me, for my healing, and whatever I'm doing in that healing work, I'm hoping that it expands out into your heart, the universe, whatever that is. So it's helpful. If you choose not to, that's okay. It's just something, I'm bringing up because there's a give and take of energy and, in the world, and that's how things work. So in being able to, I'm also learning how to receive, which is not really that easy for me. So that's helpful. And to those of you who have donated, thank you so much. I am just, again, it's really not easy for me. I'm getting used to it because I've given so much as far as guidance work and love and, different things like helping people heal. And it's not been easy for me to receive. So I'm practicing receiving. So it doesn't have to be money. It can be anything. So, anyway, if you have like a yard or a home to open up as I do my traveling, if there's any opportunity for that too, that would be, I would be grateful for that as well. So, I'll bring more into this, of what's coming up next, soon. But it's far out enough where I don't need to talk about it just yet. It's in August. So anyway, I guess that's about it. All right. So have a beautiful moment wherever you are. I love all of you. Divine love, is and unconditional. You don't have to do anything to receive that. So I hope you enjoyed this, and blessings to you. And I guess that's it. All right.